Hello, welcome traders. We are back for another weekend movers overview. If you're new, welcome. We'd like to definitely welcome you to a great series that I'm starting, where we're looking to focus on the pairs that's really going to be moving in the following week. Just to kick off this report, we want to look at the week that just passed and checking out some of our specific pairs we were looking at last week, and we're gonna be moving on to the following week. So first, a little recap. We had the euro coming out with the CPI, the pound coming out, the CAD coming out with the GDP numbers on Monday. In particular, we were looking for the moves, significant moves on the euro Australian dollar, the euro pound, and the euro CAD. Moving on. Throughout the week, we had the interest rates coming out on the Australian dollar. So on Tuesday, we were also looking for positions on the euro Australian dollar and Australian dollar US dollar early in the week. As the week progressed, you can see we were looking for positions on the Australian dollar as well. If we weren't in any already, the way pretty much I like to look at this is I like to get in entries early in the week in particular, and just allow the momentum to push me to my targets later in the week. But if I didn't get any valid setups with my particular trading system, you're more than welcome to continue to look for entries on these pairs later in the week. So during Wednesday, we had trade balance that came out at 9:30, which was forecast to pretty much move the Australian dollar pretty strongly. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. In addition, on Wednesday we had the ADP non-farm numbers, which should have moved this pair significantly as well. In addition to the Australian dollar retail numbers, which should have further moved the Australian dollar. Later on in the week, we had more news on the dollar. Big report non-farm. So with that being said, that's some of the bigger movers and shakers, and as you can see, there was some news, pretty much on the dollar, which gave dollar some strength there. Also, retail numbers on the Australian dollar came out a bit worse than expected, so that caused some weakness in the Australian dollar. Same thing with the trade balance, weak numbers, so some weakness on the Australian dollar. So we're going to see all of this reflected in the price action, and now that we're speaking of price action, why don't we take it all over to it? So here we are on the euro Australian dollar 15-minute chart. The week started here. We were looking for a short position, or a position on the euro Australian dollar, in particular in the beginning of the week. Personally, I took a short position around here on the euro Australian dollar, which came down to the big number, which I kind of split off half my position. And later on in the week, with the negative numbers coming out of Australia for trade balance, that pushed this pair up to knock me out at break even on my continued position. But I did exit with one profitable target. But the price action is really the bigger thing here. And for your trading system in particular, if you were looking for signals, this is a fantastic pair to keep an eye on early in the week, as we mentioned. So this was Monday, and then as you can see here, there was a strong move down when the interest rate came out on the Australian dollar, which pushed it down, and that was the particular move that we were looking for. But you can see throughout the week, the news on the Australian dollar kind of retraced for the most part for the remaining of the week. If we want to take a look at the euro CAD in the beginning of the week, same kind of stuff. We were looking for a position on the euro CAD. You can see how the euro CAD pulled back, and then pretty much a similar movement to the low side on the euro CAD on Tuesday and on Monday. Throughout the week, you can see it pretty much pushed down. So if you want any kind of shorts in the beginning of the week. Towards the end of the week, you're in pretty good shape. In the beginning of the week, we also spoke about looking at the euro pound, and you can see for the most part, in the beginning of the week, it was just a nice, smooth price action to the low side if you were in any kind of shorts in the beginning of the week. Another pair that we discussed later in the week that moved was the Australian dollar as well. Now, in the beginning of the week, you can see the Australian dollar pushed to the upside. We had the interest rate report coming out here, and that pushed prices to the upside again. Then we had a trade balance come out right above these highs, which was weakened the Australian dollar, and that started the decline of this pair. In addition, we got strong numbers coming out of on the non-farm for the dollar, and that continued to push this pair down. So this was a phenomenal pair to be looking at for positions in either direction, off the support levels, off the big number up here, and this is really what this report is all about. It's all about finding the movers, the pairs that's going to be moving that we want to focus on, because we want to focus on the pairs with the volatility. That's the pairs that's going to most likely reach our profit target. So with that being said, that's a great recap of last week's price action in regard to the fundamentals. Now let's take a look at the week moving forward. All right, moving into the week ahead. Checking out the week ahead, we got July 7th. Got some reports coming out on the CAD, some building permits and a PMI. Not really big fans of this report right here, but it should shake up the market a little bit. It definitely has the possibility to shake up the market. And for me, if I were looking for a position, it would be setups on the Euro CAD, the Euro Australian, and the Euro New Zealand. Euro Australian and Euro New Zealand are pretty correlated, so I wouldn't take positions on both. Maybe positions on one particular, which one was setting up the best. Actually, that'd be the same ideology. We'll go through it for all three, so pretty much which one is setting up the best. In addition, if you want to look at some other pairs, USD CAD, Australian dollar, USD, and New Zealand USD, there's also some other pairs to look at. But for me in particular right now, I like shorting the euro, so that's what I'm gonna be looking for. Moving into Tuesday, we got manufacturing coming out on the pound. So I definitely will be looking for a position on the euro pound and the pound dollar around that report time. In addition, later in the day, there's news coming out on China CPI, which is pretty much inflation. Typically, reports in China affects the Australian dollar. China does a lot of trading with Australia, being that they're in the same region, and typically if you see a change in a shift in China, it may spill over into Australian dollar. So if you're looking for a pair to pretty much trade around that report, you may want to look at the Euro Australian dollar. In particular, we got some more news coming out on Wednesday on the Australian dollar that may continue to push this pair to trend. So we just gotta sit tight and kind of see what happens. Moving on into Wednesday, got the FOMC coming out on the dollar. Now, this report really pushes the market. The last one, I think it really wasn't too much, but in the past it has pushed the market significantly. So you could keep your eyes open to see if there's some movement on the dollar pairs. For me in particular, I'm gonna be keeping an eye on the Euro USD and the Pound USD. Later on in the day, as we mentioned, we got some more news coming out in Australia, unemployment. And if you want to keep an eye on some pairs, some good pairs to focus on would be the Euro Australian dollar and the Australian dollar US dollar. That's on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday, more news coming out in China, trade balance. So if you want to focus on a pair, that'll be another pair that'll push this Euro Australian and Australian dollar, those pairs. later on Thursday, we got the official bank rate, so interest rates coming out on the pound. We're gonna see exactly what happens. Around that time, I'll be looking for setups on the euro pound and pound dollar again, if I wasn't in any already. Typically, I like to get in my positions early in the week and just kind of ride the price action throughout the week. But we'll see if I'm not in any positions come Thursday. These are the pairs I'll be looking for. Moving on to Friday, employment change coming out on the CAD. So some pairs to focus on will be the Euro CAD and the USD CAD. So as I mentioned, this is not really a signal service, but this is where you can focus on these pairs and be sure that they're going to be moving around these times. The idea is to really use your own personal trading system, focus on these pairs, and if you get any signals around these times, it'd be great because the momentum could really thrust price action into your targets. Hopefully you find this video helpful. I've been getting some great feedback so far from other traders saying that you know just focusing on these pairs has been really helping them. I had a few trades last week that I should be posting up some videos on. So if you look back on the channel, you may see the Euro New Zealand short, the Euro Australian short, and the Euro dollar short from last week. Currently in the Euro yen trade now to the short side. From the previous week, I had a pound dollar trade to the long side, which, as you've seen, if you've seen price action for this week, you'll see the pound really push to the upside, which was great. So things have been pretty much working out. Just focusing on these pairs, and I'm hoping that we could transfer the same success over to you, just by kind of narrowing your ranges with regard to the pairs that you're looking at, and just focus on the big movers. So if you found this video helpful, please be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe for all the future videos. And when I get your support from subscribing and liking, I know that this is helpful. I know that you're benefiting from it, and that's really what I like to see. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to talking with you next time. Happy trading.